Today we are going to move on to a new section of the sutta. So I just want you to remember about things we've been discussing so far. So that's a good thing to do. Otherwise we will keep doing. Maybe you might have forgotten about things. Can you remember what we discussed last Monday? Panya. What panya is that? Lay people, domestic panya. Domestic people's panya. That means panya that is to be practiced by a lay person. We were very clear about that. We said that it is similar to the 5 hindrances, but the first 2 seem to be a little different. Can somebody tell me what they are? The first one is the previous section of the sutta. Abhijja, Visama Lobha. Second, Vyapada. Third, Tina Medha. Fourth, Uddacha Kukucha. Fifth, Vichikiccha. So these are the 5, I would say, hindrances which are a little bit different, in terms of the first 2, that a layperson should overcome in his or her life. And we discussed Abhijja Visamalobha to be a little different than Kamachanda, because Kamachanda is something that a monastic or a person who wants to attain jhana has to work on. But as a layperson, you cannot get rid of Kamachanda. So you are with Kamachanda. That's why the Buddha clearly distinguishes that the kind of the, I would say, area that a layperson has to work on is the greed, not the karma. A monastic may have to work on karma because they are committed to their life. So in terms of the lay people, what he said was Abhijja Visamalobha. We said abhijja means greed for what you have in your life, abhijja. And visamalobha means greed what you have for what other people possess in their life. There are a lot of things other people possess. Can you think of any examples? Like, let's say you happen to see a really nice house, which you may not have, and then you initially come up with, oh, it's so good, nice, but within your mindset, if you develop a certain greed to that thing which other people possess, this can lead to a visamalobha. Let's say you are seeing a good couple, they are very loving each other, and then in your life you don't see that is happening, that has been happening for the last many years, and you feel that I don't have it. It's okay, but if you happen to be greedy for what others have in different ways, it could be a visamalobha. Abhijja, visamalobha. Greed is the problem for the lay people, not the sensual desire. The Buddha clearly mentioned even in the Karaniya Sutta, he said, Kamesu vinaya gedhang, having overcome the greed in terms of kamas. When you remove greed towards karma, it should be okay. But a lot of people translated this to be having removed all the karmas. You see the translations of many. Right? Let's go to a translation. I will show you what kind of misconstrued understanding that some texts are giving, some translations are giving. Metta Sutta, which is a very famous sutta. Let's go to, okay, this one. Can see it's over here. Kamesu vinaya gedham. Right? Vinaya means overcome. Gedham means greed. Kamesu, in regard to kamas. Let's see the translation. Here. With sensual desires abandoned. How is it possible for a layperson in this case? Right? You could say that an anagami person might have non-returner, but here, kamesu vinaya gedhang. So, gather in terms of calm. That is what someone is trying to, as a layperson. So, we discuss the domestic panya, layperson's panya last week. I think you may have never heard this. We said panya is panya. It is a standalone concept. Whatever the panya that a monk is going to attain, that is our panya too. Yes, at a certain point. But initially, for lay people, your wisdom is not monk's wisdom. You have to build up your wisdom. So that was the last class we did. All right. And before that, we did what you call accomplishment in what do you call generosity, then accomplishment in morality, then accomplishment in saddha. Why did the Buddha explain these 4 accomplishments for a layperson? Why? What is the reason? He initially talked about 4 wishes of a layperson. Every layperson may have 4 wishes. What are they? May I have wealth righteously. Nobody wants to make money in unethical ways, wrong ways. Second, having earned money in righteous ways, may I have a good reputation, me and my family and my teachers and all that. Third, having acquired money, wealth righteously, and then having acquired good reputation for myself and others in my network, in my networking, and then may I live longer, right? And then having lived longer, may I be reborn in a better place. Now the Buddha says that these are easily said. So in order to accomplish and in order to come through these wishes, one has to accomplish in 4 spiritual activities, 4 spiritual states. That is how we went on to the Saddha Sampada, Sila Sampada, Chaga Sampada, Panya Sampada. So that is the only way you can create wealth in righteous ways. Then good reputation. I think everybody wants good reputation. Now when you think about publicity, how many things do people organize, making followers on social media, right? They are buying services to promote, they are buying others, famous people to be famous too, right? So Buddha says, yes, he understands, it is okay, but do it in the proper way, right? But if you heard that you can't be a public person, you can't be a popular person, it is anicca, that is a wrong teaching. Because for a lay person, it is approved. For a monastic, it might be a different story. Okay, so now we have come to the last sampada which we did about panya. Let's see what is going on at that point. Ayang vucchati gahapati panya sampada. This is the accomplishment in wisdom. Ime sanko gahapati chatunnam dhammanang ittanang kantanang manapanang dullabhanang lokasming ime chattaro dhamma patilabhaya sangvata. Okay, those wishes which are what you call ittanang means everybody wish for, and then kantanam means everybody desire, manapanam means everybody agree that these are things that we all need. Then dullabhanang lokasming, they are hard to gain, very hard to gain, right? Now there are a lot of mistranslation about this, the Pali word dullabha. One poor translation about the Pali word dullabha is, there is a sutta in Anguttara Nikaya where the Buddha says that it is very difficult to find a mentally healthy person other than an arahant. Somebody who translated this sutta translated this way: everyone who has not attained Nibbana are mentally sick people. A scholar, actually, it's a scholar. Everyone who has not attained Nibbana, or at least Sotapatti, are mentally sick people. Now the Pali word is dullabha. That means even among the unenlightened people, there are good people who can make up their mind. They are not mentally sick people. Dullabha doesn't mean never ever. Dullabha means hard, rare to find, hard to find. Right? That's why learning a bit of Pali is very important. Otherwise, you can translate in your own way. But it's not the truth. Right? Okay, so now the Buddha moves from this conversation, wishes and the 4 accomplishments, onto the main point of the sutta. The main point is PATTAKAMMA. Now we haven't discussed PATTAKAMMA yet. Now the PATTAKAMMA, discussion about PATTAKAMMA is coming up. PATTAKAMMA means worthy deed. That means when you make money, when you make wealth, the good term is wealth, which has money, real estate, everything. That or those wealth, they must be properly utilized. Otherwise, you are going to be a blamable person when you pass away by the wise people. Right? This is what the Buddha says. So when you make wealth, you need to be a blame-free person when you pass away. So the wealth has to be utilized for certain important aspects in your life as a layperson. This is called PATTAKAMMA. Patta means worthy, deserving, eligible. Kamma means activity. So you have to bring your wealth onto the worthy courses, suitable courses, spiritually suitable, spiritually eligible, spiritually deserving courses. So I think this is a very interesting then area in your layperson's life. If you haven't heard, probably most of you haven't heard this part, I think it's going to be very important as a practice, not as a theory. A lot of people, they learn Dhamma by theory, but this is a practice, really practice. Sako so gahapati Arya Savako. Now, layperson should be an Arya Savaka. Arya Savaka means a noble disciple. Noble disciple. How to become a noble disciple? There are 2 types of normal people. We call them putujjana, unenlightened people. Andha putujjana, kalyana putujjana. Arya. I think you know what is Arya, because this is coming from the Aryans who came to India, northern India, right, at a certain time, long time ago. So the Pali word Arya, which has connections to the 4 noble truths, noble eightfold path, they all come from Arya, which later become Arya. So I think I discussed with you some time ago, the people who were in India, we call them Dasyu. Dasyu. Say black people, uncivilized people, barbarians, but this is something not very important here, but I just said Arya. Arya means noble. So a lay person is an Arya Savaka, can be an Arya Savaka. So normally lay people are called in one sutta Andha Putujjana. Putujjana. Putujjana, what is the meaning of Putujjana? Unenlightened person, someone who has not attained Sotapatti. So, would you like to call yourself as a Putujjana? Putujjana. Jana means the mass. Putujjana, Putu. People who are changing all the time. I think we are changing, we are making changes. All the time we are making changes. The Aryas don't change. They don't change. They don't get changed. They don't change. So Putujjana means, Putu means change. So these mass, they always do changes. So the Buddha said there are 2 types of Putujjana. One is Andha Putujjana. Second one is Kalyana Putujjana. Andha Putujjana means someone who has no access to Dhamma, who has not started his or her Dhamma journey at all, who doesn't know about Dhamma, who has no idea about what Dhamma is. But Kalyana Putujjana means someone who is listening to Dhamma, learning, trying to practice, but not yet attain Sotapatti. So this Kalyana Putujjana status will take you bring you to this Arya Savaka level as a layperson. So you are a layperson, but you still can be considered as a Kalyana Putujjana, in other terms, Arya Savaka. Now, the Buddha says, this noble disciple, that means the layperson, who is following the Buddha's Dhamma, who is helping the Buddha Sasana, now making a living. How does he make the living? Utthana Viryadi Gatehi. Utthana Viryadi Gatehi. You can see energetic striving. Utthana Virya means he or she has lots of virya. Virya, energy. Energy to work, to really work. Then Baha Bala Parichitehi. What do you call? Amassed by the strength of his arms. Baha means arms. Bala means strength. Now this is about the money or wealth that the layperson is making. So the layperson is making money in different ways. One is at the beginning with lots of virya. Virya means energetic striving. Then Baha Bala, strength of his arms. Now actually we have to understand this is the time of the Buddha. Nowadays people make money without using that much of hands, right? Because the conditions have changed nowadays. Maybe you sit down in front of a computer, so you are using your brain a lot. But at that time, it was not a, techie time. It was a time of lot of hard working. That's why the Buddha used, because he was talking to those people, not to today's people, right? Baha Bala Parajite. Arms. And then arms. Arms and arms. They are two different things. Arms and arms. Right? Two different stuff. I remember that one of my friends, the Dayakas in Canada, he told the boss that, so I have an event called almsgiving. So can I take my break to go to the almsgiving and come back? He said, almsgiving is where monks come and I give food to them. Okay, you go, you take your break. Then when he came back after 1 hour, the boss is looking at his hands. What's wrong? Then he asked, what's wrong with you? He said, I thought you gave your hands to somebody. Almsgiving. He's not familiar with this one. Pindapat, or maybe giving to the monks. And then energetic striving, then strength of his arms, or his or her arms. Seda Vakkittehi. Seda means Seda. Pali word Seda. Seda means sweat. Sweat. It is said that sweat of his brow. That means when you are hardworking, when it involves a lot of hardworking, your sweat, sweat will come out of the brow. This is also still talking about that society where a typical person, how is making money at that time. Now, energetic striving, strength of his or her arms, then sweat of his brow or her brow, right? With all these efforts, someone is making wealth. So this part, wealth. That wealth is boge. Bogehi uttana viryadi baha bala parchite seda vakitehi bogehi. Now this wealth not even was earned by energetic striving, by the strength of arms, by the sweat of his brow, but also dhammikehi. It has to be earned by dhammikehi. Dhammikehi means righteous. Dhammikehi, righteous. Dhamma laddehi. And earn righteously. Righteous wealth, righteously gain. Right? Dhammaladdehi, righteously gain, and dhammikehi, righteous wealth. Righteous wealth. That is an interesting point. It's about, what is it called? This is talking about a very important aspect in Buddhism. What is it? Samma Ajiva. Samma Ajiva. Right? Dhammikehi Dhammaladdehi. That means as a follower of the Buddha, we all are supposed to make money, wealth in righteous ways. We are not supposed to cheat on other people. We are not supposed to swindle other people. We are not supposed to make money by, I would say, swindling, maybe doing wrong marketing on others. It's a very big subject actually. So the money, the wealth must come to anybody through righteous ways. When the money is coming through the righteous ways, where you are earning wealth through energetic striving, then strength of your arms, sweat of your brow, then those things, money or wealth, must be used for making 4 pattakammas. For chattari 4 pattakamma means worthy deeds. Okay? Now that money has to be used, that wealth must be used for pattakammas. So today we are discussing about the pattakamma, first pattakam. What is the priority out of our wealth? Right? Let's see. Okay. Same thing. Idagahapati Arya Savako Uttana Viryadigatehi Bogehi Baha Balaparchitehi Seda Vakitehi Dhammikehi Dhammaladdehi. There comes the people who we have to spend money on as the priority in our life. Who are the first people? Attanang Suketi Pineti. Okay, who should be the priority in your wealth under the first Pattakamma? What the Buddha said? Attana, self-care is number 1. So your whatever the wealth must be used for you in the first place, not for the other people. There are very interesting Pali words. Suketi Pineti. Suketi Pineti. Suketi means? Suketi, make happy. That means you have to make yourself happy first. Then Pineti. So you can see here. Pineti. Pineti means please. You have to first make yourself happy out of that money, righteous money, and you have to make yourself please. Interesting, huh? Have you ever heard this kind of teaching? You are always hearing, money is not important, money is anicca, right? Give everything away, become a monk, nonsense. What a beautiful teaching. The problem is, they have not studied these suttas. That is the problem. So you are giving an injustice to the suttas. So the Buddha said, first self-care, right? How to do the self-care? Can you think about your self-care? How to make yourself happy? How to please yourself? I think now I'm going to show you the notes for today. We can discuss something more out of it. What is the meaning of Suketi, happy, Pineti, please? Why do these two verbs need to be understood in their right context? So how to make yourself happy? Tell me in very short. That means we have to? Health is number 1, right? Health. Health. Wealthy. Now wealth has already, you have wealth. With the wealth you are doing self-care now. Wealth has, you are already rich. Not a tycoon, huh? I mean, you are sufficiently okay, right? Even you are not very much rich, you have to do the self-care. Basic needs, I could say basic needs. You have to meet the basic needs. Basic needs have clothing, food, shelter, medicine, health. Okay? Then what else? Self-care. This is mostly physical side. Huh? Then mental side, peace. Do we need peace in our life? Huh? She said no. Are you serious? We need peace, right? This other people are? The people around us not giving us peace. That's okay. We are not going to change other people. Right? We are not going to change other people around us. They won't be changed. And problems will be become worse actually. We have to know how to handle them. That is Buddhism. How to work with them. Now when you forget about your household, go for a work, like a workplace. Do you think everybody is favorable to you in the workplace? But you still want to hang on to the work though. You want to deal with them. You can't find work that easy. Then over time, you are working with them easily, isn't it? You don't complain. If you want to do it, you can do it. So we need peace. Peace means you have to create your own peace. Don't wait other people bring you peace. Right? Don't wait other people to bring you peace. You make your own peace. So that part is self-care. We can talk over and over, but I just put a stop here. So, sukheti pineti. Happy, please. So these are very important. Even you are rich, even you have some money, you have to make sure that you have enough access to these things in your own way, right? This also has a lot of things, other minor small things, sleep, what else? Then healthy eating, lot of things, small things that you can do every day. And associating kalyana mittas, right? You can find them out. Maybe we can find them out later. Okay, now, first part. Now you have money, yeah? Let's say you have wealth. Now out of this wealth, the first thing is self-care. I mean, under the first worthy deed, there are sections. Now, in the first section, you have to take care of yourself first. Then, the second thing under that section is you have to take care of Mata Pitaru. Mata Pitaru means parents. Mata Pitaru. Mata Pitaru. Not the family. Why not the family? Why not the wife? Why not the husband? Girlfriend, boyfriend? Why parents came in? Huh? You have to think about why the Buddha said parents. Huh? Now here's the thing how I look at it. At that time, only man work. Right? Woman is a housewife. Then at a certain point, they made her a housemaid. The mother became a housemaid overall. But what we understand at this point is, look at a modern household where husband and wife both work. They both work. They both bring money to the house. So together they decide we have to take care of each other first, and then we have to allocate money for the both parents. Let's take that way. Not that the wife is not working and then the wife is waiting until the husband spends money for the parents. Right? That's not a good way to look at it. So both are working. In today's world, both are working. Nobody is like waiting until somebody brings money to the house. Right? So both are working, both are agreeing that, okay, we have to take care of each other, spend money for both of us. Then we have to think about our both parents, both sides. Husband's parents, wife parents. That is how I look at it. So we don't have any problem then. Then another thing to see is in the path of our Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha says taking care of mother and father is Sammaditthi. It doesn't say taking care of wife and husband is sammaditthi. Because under the sammaditthi, this is atti mata, atti pita. My mother is a special person, my father is a special person. I take it in the same way. Both wife and husband think together, both of their parents are special people. Right? Now the problems will occur when you think only husband works in the family. Then there is a problem here. Then how come spouse is coming after parents? So now both are allocating money, setting aside the money for self-care in the first place. Second, parents. Then Putta Dara, it is a little bit longer one, which has many people. Putta Dara means, Putta means children. Huh? Children. Then Dara, there is spouse as well. Then Kammakara Porise. Kammakara Porise means, you could say workers, servants, maids. I think these houses are very big houses, Indian houses, right? Now then what is this spouse? Probably there may be certain other incentives, probably things that husband and wife think about themselves. So we're going to buy something for us, probably investing some more money. So they're going to put that after taking care of the parents. And then children, then workers. So now you have to understand how to allocate wealth for these people in the first Pattakama. So you have to make them happy, make them pleased. Huh? That has to come. What do you call? Suketi pineti. Suketi pineti. Suketi pineti. Is making someone happy very easy? Generally it's not easy, but there are people who understand us. So it's very easy for us to make them happy when we understand them. But there are some others, maybe many, who are not easily satisfied. Maybe they are very demanding people. Can you think about any example? When we are with the wrong kind of people, we will have to go through a lot of demanding nature of those people. Right? There are some children who are very down to earth. They are not bugging their parents. Right? So even some spouses and then workers as well. Sometimes it could happen from parents too. Right? Some parents are demanding a lot, probably from all the children. See, the elder one is doing good for us, but you are not doing enough, right? So what we have to do is that we have to understand we have a role to play, but we have to know how to deal with them. That is important. At least you are doing something for them. Then under the first Pattakama, the next group is Mitta Macha. We're going to actually break them, Amacha. Mitta Macha means? Mitta means friends and Amacha means companions. Or maybe colleagues. Mitta Amacha. So you're going to make them happy, Suketi, and you're going to please them in the proper way. Right? Okay, that's the list. This is the first Pattakama. So there are 4 Pattakammas. Today we are only talking about the first one. Right? So your wealth has to be sectionalized under 4 groups. Under the first Pattakama, you have to only focus on these 4 people. First, you. Second, your parents. Third, children, spouse and workers. Fourth, your friends. But now we are going to talk about issues in this practice. What are the issues in this practice? There may be someone who is not going to spend money on oneself, parents, children, but only spending money on the friends. Probably an alcoholic person. Maybe he is looking for a drinking buddy. Want to drink together. That is not the purpose of this idea. The purpose of this idea is you, make them happy, please, in the proper way. Right? In the proper way, you have to do that. Okay, let's talk about self-care again. Now, in Buddhism, this is a very important topic. Why is it? The Buddha has always discussed that self-care is important. When you are practicing self-care, it doesn't mean that you are becoming a selfish person, right? Now, even when he was a bodhisattva, his other friends were able to become arahants at a certain point. But he did not want. He wanted to become the Buddha so that he can talk to many people, right? So, you could see it could be a certain selfish moment. He wants to become the Buddha, but the purpose is wide enough to help other people. There are 4 types of people. If I can remember, there are many suttas about it. One is, I would say, someone who is very selfish. I don't bring the Pali here. There is a person who is very selfish. Second one is who is overly altruistic. Have you seen such people? Who does not take care of oneself, who is working for other people, who is not taking a shower, not sleeping, doing everything for other people. His or her life is a mess, but always helping other people. There is no single moment of thinking oneself. I would say altruistic. The third person is both selfish and altruistic, but this selfish nature has to be understood. The fourth one is neither selfish nor altruistic. Now, the Buddha's idea is this person is the ideal person that we are going to look at, because we have to mind about us, we have to take care of us. At the same time, we have to help other people. This selfish nature is not that selfish person that we normally know. If you are only self-centered, if you are only doing other people's stuff, then you might feel that your energy is being drained by others. So we call the people who are draining us as energy vampires. Energy vampires, taking our energy. They are using us, they are misusing our time, misusing our energy. So, by understanding this point, we understand self-care, right? Self-care is very, very important. Without self-care, you cannot do other care. Let's talk about this self-care from the Brahma Vihara practice. What is the Brahma Vihara practice? Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Why they are called as Brahma? What is the meaning of Brahma? Brahma. This is a person, right? This is a person. But at the same time, this Pali word has a meaning. Brahma means higher, higher. Right? This is higher. So Brahma Vihara means the highest forms of attitudes that you can spend the day on. Because if you look at a day, we are only living with certain, akusala states of mind. But if you can bring our attitudes to pro-Brahma Viharas, then our attitudes going to be very wholesome. They are the highest attitudes. Now, when you practice the metta, the first Brahma Vihara, how to practice metta? Loving kindness. How do we do that? first we are going to think about us. Why we are going to think about us in the metta practice? Then only we can radiate happiness or metta to others. In other words, any other thoughts? Why do we have to do metta to us in the first place? Then only you know how much other people love themselves. That is why we have to do it for us. Some people think, no, I am more important than other people. That's why I start with metta. See? Why I do metta for myself? May I be well, happy, peaceful. Because then I understand other people also need the same loving kindness, same metta, not only me. Right? That is the purpose. Then karuna. Karuna means compassion. Huh? But the things we are doing in terms of compassion is kindness. Everyday kindness activities. Right? Sometimes we cannot help other people that much, so we call those moments as empathetic moments. We empathize, right? Empathize those people. We cannot do that much. We want to feel what is going on. We are going to put us in their shoes. Compassion means we are able to help them as much as we could. Probably we go and do some what you call substantial help. So first we have to be kind to us. We have to be compassionate to us. Otherwise we cannot practice compassion to other people. Mudita, altruistic joy. First we have to appreciate what we have achieved in our life. Then only we can understand other people's achievements. Upekha, equanimity, a state of balance, not shaking all the time. Today so good and evening so down, right? Maybe somebody talked to you, maybe a message, maybe a bad conversation. So you should have upekha in terms of you to understand how to bring upekha to other people. Now in other words, we can say if somebody cannot practice metta very well, that means that person cannot practice metta to oneself properly. That is why he or she cannot spread metta to others. He or she is bringing a lot of hatred to others. He doesn't know how to do. She doesn't know how to do it. Those people who cannot be compassionate to others have a problem of bringing kindness, compassion to them. So that's why they don't know how to do it for other people. So these are spiritual failures. So that's why in order to have this self-care, we must invest these what you call holistic, wholesome states of mind within us first. Otherwise we cannot practice for other people. Now say for instance committing suicide, taking life is also a problem with not having enough self-care, right? So it's a very broad topic, but what you have to understand is you need to have lots of self-care with your wealth which you have earned. That is how you are starting off your Dhamma journey in the proper way. But don't attach yourself a lot. When you do self-care, you might be indirectly, secretly attached too much to you. You have to balance out that. Understanding, I do self-care, but I know that more things to be done to other people, right? Parents. I will discuss about parents once again. Now parents, as I said, they play a part of the Sammaditthi. Sammaditthi means the first noble path factor. My mother is a special person, my father is a special person. So our wealth need to be adequately distributed to the parents too, in terms of taking care of them. That must be done. Nobody can drop them just because they have some issues with them, right? That's important too. And children, spouse, workers. So it is one's what you call responsibility to make them happy and please them, all these categories. Now, if you want to look at of children and spouse, what did the Buddha say about these people in very simple suttas? Can you remember a very famous sutta where Buddha talks about taking care of them in the proper way? Even give you... Mangala Sutta is the simplest place. How did the Buddha say about them? How did he say in the Mangala Sutta about children and spouse? Mata pitu upattanang. This is okay. Putta darassa sangaho. They are blessings. Taking care of mother is a blessing. There are people who don't do this part, come to the temple and ask the blessings from the monks. What is the problem with them? They haven't learned these things. And putta darasa sangaho. There are children in the household, there is wife, husband, they don't take care of them. Then come into a place and ask him blessings. Bhante, give us blessings. My life is a mess. So they have to take care of them. Then you are creating the blessing. Right? They are blessings. Then if you want a broader explanation about children, spouse, you have to go to Sigalovada Sutta. Right? Sigalovada Sutta. In the Sigalovada Sutta, there are a lot of things that are being discussed for the family, especially children and spouse. Right? So you can read them later about things. And even the workers. Workers are also being mentioned. They have to be taken care by the people in the proper way. They have to make them happy and please them. And friends, this is a very interesting topic. Mitta Macca. Because they have come to the first Pattakama. I think we have to discuss about the mittas in the proper way. What is the meaning of mitta? Mitta means friend. And amacca means companion, maybe colleague. How many friends are there in Buddhism? How much friends are important in our Dhamma practice as well? And how to make a friend? Who asked this question? Somebody asked the question, Bhante, how to make friends? Alavaka yakka. Yakka, Alavaka asked from the Buddha, Katang mittani gantati. His question was this. Katang mittani gantati. This means how to make a friend. Maybe I can ask some of you how to make a friend in your own way. How to make a friend? What do you think the Buddha's answer to this question? The Buddha said, Dadang mittani gantati. If you want to make friends, now in today's world, if you ask a teenager, do you have friends? Yes, lots of friends. Then, where are they? Online. Social media friends. They haven't made a lot of physical friends. We can give them an excuse if they are still in the COVID time, but they haven't met the real friends. So making a friend is very important. The Buddha said, by generosity, you can make good friends. But when you say by generosity, you have to be very careful because there are people who give unnecessary things too. So when we talk about mittas, because we have different mittas, we have what you call we have 4 good friends, 4 bad friends, and kalyana mittas. 3 categories. Huh? Who are these? These are the normal people in our life. 4 good friends, 4 bad friends. Can you think about these 4 bad friends? Let's talk about bad friends first. There are 4 bad friends. First one is Anya Dattu Hara. Anya Dattuhara. Second, Vachi Parama. Fourth one is Apaya Sahaya. The third one is Anupiya Bani. Now, Anya Dattuhara means there is a friend who always comes to you, he wants or she wants to take something away from you, never gives anything to you. There are friends like that. Even they call you, they want to take something from you. An idea, whatever. If they come to your house, they want to take something away from you. They are called Anya Dattuhara. We can see Sigalovada Sutta, all these are given. Vachiya Parama means you have a friend who is treating you from the past. Maybe you want to borrow some money. He said, if you had come yesterday, I had lots of money, So treating from the past. Then if not, you know what? Can you come in a month of time? So treating from the future. Vachi Parama. Bad friend, huh? Then Anupiya Bani. Say yes to everything what you say. You know what? I want to hit that person. Yeah, good. I also think it's good. I think I want to criticize that person. I want to badmouth that person. It's okay, yeah, he also did the same thing to me. She did the same thing to me. You should do it. Then, at another time, he or she comes to you saying, I want to do a good karma. Yeah, do that too. So you say yes to everything. I think there are some unwise people who expect their friends to say yes to you all the time. I think a good friend should never say yes to you all the time. A friend has to understand what you are doing. Then only say yes or no. Don't expect yes people all the time, right? So then that person can become Anupiya Bani. Apaya Sahaya means someone who is taking you to places to squander your money, waste your money. Maybe a party friend, club friend, right? That kind of friend. Apaya Sahaya. Then we have 4 other good friends. If I can remember them. Upakaraka. Then Anukampaka. Samana Sukha Dukkha. Then last one, Attakai. Okay. Upakaraka means you have a friend who is always supportive to you. Always support you. Maybe a thing, maybe emotionally, right? Mentally, always support you. Anukampaka, you have a friend who is always, empathetic towards what's happening to you. Want to feel, want to put himself in the shoes of you. And Samana Sukha Dukkha means, at the same time, it is the same thing. This one is trying to empathetic. Samana Sukha Dukkha wants to feel the same that you are going through in your life. And Attakai means who is a good counselor, who can give you a good advice. I think we need that kind of a friend too, right? Who can give you a good advice when things go wrong, even when things go in the correct way too. So these are called 4 bad friends, 4 good friends. Huh? Then Kalyana Mittas. Kalyana Mitta means? Who is a Kalyana Mitta? Spiritual friend. Can you tell me who is a spiritual friend? Huh? No, not the person, I mean. How do you define a spiritual person? Friend. You know the Pali word Kalyana Mitta, right? A person who makes sure that you are not falling into the bad company. Okay. Any other answers? Huh? Buddha? No, I'm not asking the person. I'm asking what is the definition of a Kalyana Mitta? supports in the Dhamma is one. And then, long time ago, somebody told me the one who is giving me a ride to the temple is a Kalyana Mitta. Giving rides to the temple. And then, what else? You should tell me, because you must have Kalyana Mittas, otherwise you are in a trouble in your practice. Yes? Huh? Like-minded people study together. Those who study Dhamma together. Because there are some who cannot study together, right? Isn't it? There are some others, not you, I mean, there are some who cannot study together. Even the Dhamma. What are the other ways of looking at Kalyana Mitta? Okay, so trying to give you every opportunity that you can be a part of that activity. That is also a good thing, because some others, there may be others who might not give the opportunity. Have you seen people who want to do the dana only by herself, himself? Who don't want to invite others? I haven't seen them. I just guess there may be people like that. Right? Sometimes when someone is doing good things, they can become greedy for that good thing, you know. Supportive to each other in Dhamma wise. Okay, so Kalyana Mittata is very important, because Buddha says if you want to become a Sotapanna one day, Kalyana Mittata becomes the second requirement. That means we should have someone who can guide us, who can help us, who can support us, who can motivate us. Right? When we are with certain people, we are not motivated sometimes. Motivation is important. Self-motivation is not enough. You might learn a Dhamma talk online, you might read a book, but that is not enough. If that is enough, you would have not come here today. Right? If that self-motivation is enough, you would have not come here today. You think this will help you more than that. Right? So, in one of the suttas, Buddha said, you must have 2 Kalyana Mittas at the very least. 2. The Buddha said, Anguttara Nikaya. Now, how to find these 2 people? He said, don't worry, everybody has 1 Kalyana Mitta already, the Buddha. Yeah, so now only 1 person is what we have to find out. Then the second person you have to find out. No. Now we need the support from others. Right? Self-motivation, self-practice is not enough. We need that thing. Now when you meditate together, you get a different vibe. You get the motivation. But you meditate alone, you will do it. But then at a certain point of time, you might feel that, I think this is enough for me today. But when you meditate together, you feel that group vibe. Right? Learning together. So that's very important. The second person you have to find out. If you are lucky enough, you will find out. All right. Now, before we go to the Q&A, there are 4 Pattakammas. Your money, wealth has to be gone to these Pattakammas. The first Pattakamma, within the first Pattakamma, you are allocating money, wealth towards self-care, then your parents, then children, spouse, workers, then friends and colleagues. Now, when you are allocating money for the friends and then others, you have to understand how much money I am going to allocate for them. Right? So I have to balance out, or you have to balance out your wealth. Right? Be careful, you still have to save money, because there are 3 more Pattakammas are coming up. There are 3 more. We haven't discussed them yet. Initially, this is the first section of the Pattakama. I think the Pali words called Sukheti Pineti is very important. We have to be able to make someone happy and please. And not many people can make others happy and pleased. I think it's not the other's problem initially. It might be. On the other hand, it is the problem of oneself too. Now there is a visitor coming to your house. Can you really make them happy with the food? Tell me. Or you are taking the blame, I don't know how to cook properly. Yeah? My guests always complaining about the food. They are not happy about the food I make. If they are not happy, I have to find a way to make them happy. Huh? Go and buy some packed food. Huh? I don't think. Maybe you make an order, maybe you bring them to a restaurant. You have to think about how to make them happy. If I don't know how to cook, I have to find a way to make them happy. Not blaming I don't know how to cook. Right? That is not the way. So I think pleasing others, making others in the proper way with the right people, it is a skill. It does not come to you automatically. Right? There are many other ways to think about. On the other hand, you think about the duties between husband and wife, responsibilities, right? Which the Buddha talked about. I remember long time ago, two young girls who came to me when I was working as a chaplain at UBC Vancouver. They asked me a booklet. So I had a Singalovada Sutta, not I purposely had it, there was in my bookshelf, so I gave it to them. So they brought it home, and then after 2 weeks they came back. And they said, if you don't mind, if you don't get offended, can we share something? I said, okay, I'm not a dead cell, I can listen to you. And they said, they were reading the Singalovada Sutta, and they were looking at the responsibilities between husband and wife. And they said there is a responsibility for the husband. Husband has to buy jewelries for the wife. No, that's not the problem. The problem is under the wife responsibility, Buddha had never mentioned that wife has to buy a jewelry for the husband. I think that's not fair, they say. They're looking at from the modern Western point of view. Then I said, no problem, because Buddha said this to Indian people. In India, it is the custom of husband buying jewelries for the wife. If Buddha were to born in North America, he would have said a different story. Right? So, we have to understand these things, you know. Each one is taking the responsibility, should be able to understand how to make the other person happy, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. That's a very big task. I think there are people who are naturally aware how to make that happen. Now, even when you are giving when you are giving a dana, remember monks would like to go to the house of Anathapindika for the dana. Monks don't like to go to the King Kosala's dana, where there are a lot of royal food. Then one day they were questioned, why do you like to go to the Anathapindika's house? Why not go to the king's house? Then they said, when they go to the king's house, king is ordering other people, hey, that monk needs some water, you go and serve him. You know, that monk needs some rice, and go and help him. You know, he's ordering his people to give. He never comes and serves them. But whereas Anathapindika, he comes to each monk and then offers things. So they are very happy. They are not having a lot of sumptuous food, because Anathapindika was not very rich at a certain point. So that means even making Sangha happy is a skill. It's not happening easily. Now, making your children happy, making your parents happy, making your friends happy, they all are skills. Now, when you are doing that properly, then you come to this point. What is it? You can see that. Sukheti pineti samma sukhang pariharati. That means samma sukhang pariharati. Maintain them in happiness. Right? Properly maintain them in happiness. Actually, a lot of problems in our life start when we are not happy, right? Isn't it? Have your loved ones ever told you, I'm not happy today? If they said so, what had you done? at that point. When someone in your household said to you directly, I'm not happy today because of something. Maybe you are a part of that problem, that unhappiness. So what have you done to that person? What have you, you have done to change the situation? Maybe a very fair request. Probably you need to listen to them, right? We have not been able to make others happy mostly because we do the way we want. We don't listen to other people, right? Maybe you are not asking what food they like. You are making the food you can. Then at the end they are not happy about the food you are making, right? I mean, there is a limit for doing such, right? So a good communication is very important to understand each other. So samma sukham parihara, you have to maintain that happiness. Finally, what is happening is that when you are doing so, under the first pattakamma, patamang thanagatang hoti, pattagatang, your money, your wealth is going to be properly utilized. Ayatanaso paribhuttang, that means use for a worthy cause, right? Use for a worthy cause. Think about Matta Kundali's story. You know the Matta Kundali? Very interesting story. Dhammapada's first story. Matta Kundali. Matta Kundali was the son of a man called Adinna Pubbaka. Adinna Pubbaka was a very greedy father. So when Matta Kundali was sick with jaundice, some people say it is anemia, some people say it's jaundice. Father didn't want to spend money for his sickness. Now the sickness got worse, so father understood that son would die now. So what he did was that in case he died inside the house, people will come and see inside the house and see how much stuff I have. So people will blame me. He brought him outside the house and placed him outside, maybe a veranda area, right? So Adinna Pubbaka didn't know how to take care of his son. Right? When these duties, responsibilities are not made properly, there are a lot of issues coming up. Finally, Buddha helped him, right? Buddha sent an aura. Matta Kundali was focusing on that. He was able to understand, see the Buddha. He passed away. Just by looking at the Buddha's aura, he never know Buddhism. He never know any Buddhism. And just by looking at the Buddha's aura, he was able to focus on that. He passed away. He became a deva, right? A divine being. So the story here is that making happy is a challenge to some people because they don't understand how to do it. But be careful, you don't need to please others all the time. Sometimes when you are going to please others all the time, you might be in trouble too. But I'm talking about the very important people, these ones, right ones. You have to do that. All right, any questions for this time? For the first Pattakamma?
Bhante, what is the difference between Sukheti, Pineti?
Sukheti means make happy. Pineti means please. Please.
Yeah. But can you give an example?
In English, you might not see a big difference. Even if you go to the translation over here, you can see that. I could say... Now, sukha means happiness. Now, Pali word sukha means happiness. So, you are going to make them happy. Pineti could be, it could be maybe the affective quality of the happiness, the affective quality. That means, what you call cherishing. Maybe you are going to, what are the very worldly words for that? It's a worldly word. Probably, you are going to bring them to a certain worldly level of happiness. In that, okay, what's the meaning of pleasing? Pleasing and making happy, they are two things actually, right? In order to please someone, you have to make them happy, right? Pleasing and making them happy. So, Pineti means pleasing. Maybe there are some other ideas about Pineti in the way of now you are making them happy, and they, as a result of, as a consequence of your activity, they are feeling happy after that. So you are trying to make them happy, and they are feeling happy about it, with the efforts of what you are doing to them. So you can say Sukheti Pineti. Sometimes you are trying to make them happy, but making others happy, but they are not feeling happy, isn't it? You are trying your level best, right? I found one example where one father was bringing his wife and children to fine dining restaurants as much as he can. And then after he brought them to all these fine dining places, he's always airing, say, you see, I'm bringing you guys to fine dining restaurants every day as much as I can. And then the children and wife felt kind of intimidated because he's talking this all the time, you know. I'm bringing you, I'm doing this to you, I'm doing this to you. And they feel really uncomfortable with that. So that means he is trying to make them happy, Sukheti, but they are not Pineti. They are not feeling happy, because there are some people, when they do something, they are trying to keep talking about it a lot, Then you feel like, this is kind of a nuisance, like they are very noisy people, doing the help and then talking. Right? So we have to be very careful. Do the help, make them happy, and then that's it. Let them digest the happiness. Digest the happiness. You are not trying to interpret the happiness that they should have. Sometimes we are going to interpret, like that man, see, I brought you, so you have to appreciate me, right? I have spent time on you, I have spent money on you, so you have to appreciate. So what is the perception when somebody is telling you, you feel like little intimidated by this thing, Maybe you want to give back the money at that point. Hey, take this money, I don't want to hear this, right? Yeah, so Sukheti Pineti, making happy, feeling happy. Yeah.
Making happy is just the momentum, that moment of happiness. The Pineti, I hope I'm right, is like something like you are happy with it, but you have it involved the heart. I mean, a very satisfactory or gratitude sort of feeling inside that.
As a spiritually grown individual, that is correct. But many people in the society, they are not spiritually grown people. For them, they have their own standard of parameter of feeling happy, right? They are their own standard, right? Now let's say there is a natural picture. Not everybody like that picture. Some people like, some people don't like it. If we ask them, no, there are more beautiful pictures I like. Right? Maybe somebody has taken a picture, maybe picture of a flower. So we think that everybody is supposed to like the flower, but some don't like. When you ask, no, this picture could have taken this way, that way, maybe little as a close-up, right? So that means there is not a particular standardized way of feeling happy. I think it's very individualistic. But as a spiritually grown person, in the way how you describe, yes, we have to. There are people who feel that I want to be felt in my heart, this thing. So feeling happy is a different stage. So Pineti is that. Actually, this is a problem to many families. Sometimes in some families there is no Sukheti, also no Pineti. In some families there is Sukheti but no Pineti. Right? So both have to be met. Greed is a problem to the happiness. Remember, there's a Jataka story called Suvanna Hansa Jataka story. There is a golden eagle comes to a certain house, drops a golden feather to the house. Right? Now they are surviving with this golden feather, which the golden eagle, this is, they say, golden swan actually, drops. One day, the mother became very greedy. The mother of the house became very greedy. She said to others, you know what? Now we are depending on this golden swan. What if one day he is not coming? What will happen to our future? So the children asked, then what should we do? So tomorrow when the golden swan comes, we will catch him and take out all his feathers. So tomorrow he came, they all got together, caught him, took out all this. That was the last day he came. That was the last day the golden swan came to that house. Sometimes when you are so greedy, even our minimal happiness also won't last. So greed is a problem to this happiness. We have to understand how to survive in the happiness, maintain the happiness. Samma sukham pariharati means that maintenance. Happiness has to be maintained. Making happy, feeling happy, maintain happiness. I think it's a very big task. Maintaining happiness. The Buddhist Maha Vihara understood that they are going to give food, so they are changing the menu every Monday, right? Isn't it? Is it? Right? Maintaining the happiness is a different thing. So you have to change the menu, you know. Monday, this food, then next Monday, another food. It's a big task. All right, any more questions about first Pattakama today? So when you spend money on these aspects, then your money is Pattakama, your wealth is Pattakama. Have you ever heard when someone passed away, people are making some comments that this guy did not spend on his wife, family, and right? They are making comments. That means there is no Pattakama that person had done. Right? He or she has not taken care. Maybe he had spent on money on other people. Right? Behind the scene, we never know. Right? There is a family, but he has spent money on other people, other places. Right? He has coupled people outside. Same thing can happen from the other side too. So people are not happy.
Bhante, regarding the self-care, you only write there the physical and mental. So for the basic needs. So what happens if we have extra wealth and we buy something more luxurious?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Those things are coming up in the second, third, fourth Pattakama. Because today we only discussed the first Pattakama. And don't decide all your money based on these people. Huh? You have to save some money for the next 3 Pattakamas. So keep that money.
No. What I meant is when you say basic needs, it's like a very basic. Let's say I feel that
basic.
I want to buy a better car, but I can afford for it. Is it okay?
I think that is not okay, because if you cannot pay back, I think it's not good. But if you think you can manage, go for it. It's okay. Yeah. Not even car, clothings. You are always buying from the thrifty store, Daiso, maybe, sorry about that words, maybe some normal shops. Go for a branded shop, buy something to make you happy. Admire yourself, right? It's good. That's not bad. Otherwise you are using all the worn out clothes maybe given by other people, right? Why? Once in a while, buy something. You are making yourself happy. Even the food, you are maybe eating every day from a certain shop. Time to time, you go for a fine dining shop. Right? You are admiring your eyes, admiring your things, because you are blessed enough to get something in this life. Self-reward. Yeah. So we are becoming motivated in that way. Greed is the problem. You have to understand you are not going to the greed, but without going to the greed, you maintain your happiness. Even medicine, right? If you have a sickness, you need to take medications, right? Otherwise, it will worsen, huh? Right? Yes. Any questions?
Yeah, Bhante, I think just now you mentioned about the Kayana Mitra thing, that the Kayana Mitra is the second most important person in our spiritual journey or something like that, right? Then who is the first? And also the other part where you mentioned that the Buddha is our first Kayana Mitra, but the Buddha is already in Parinibbana, and so as a Kayana Mitra, how does it connect? Except to his teaching, but if to his teaching also, sometimes we learn also we not necessarily will understand. So how do we connect the Buddha to the Kayana Mitra, which is important? Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Now the first question you asked, I said in our spiritual journey, we have to have 4 requirements. The first one is Parato Gosha, that means listening to others, listening to Dhamma talks. I normally tell people you listen to different monks' Dhamma talks, different lay people's Dhamma talks. You get the output from different speakers. Then only you understand what could be more suitable to you. Sometimes if you listen to many people, it might further mess up your understanding. But initially you need to listen to many, but then you will understand what could be good for you, right? The first one is listening to speakers, because listening can help us better than reading. When you read, language interprets a lot sometimes. It doesn't mean that you should not read, because people at the Buddha's time, they never read Dhamma books and then became 10 Sotapatti. Were there books for people to read Dhamma? No. They listen to Dhamma talks. They never read books. When you read the books, there are writers' interpretations. We getting more bombarded with information. It doesn't mean that books are not good. Nowadays we have printed online. But initially people attained Sotapatti, became even Arahant just by listening. There were no books. So the first thing is listening to, I think even in your case, when you listen to a Dhamma talk, you understand more better than reading a book, isn't it? I think when you listen to a audio talk, that will help you more than watching the video. In the past, there were only audio talks, like podcasts. So you don't see anything. No more sannyas are coming up. Audio talks might be better. You are not seeing anything, so you are only listening. So listening to Dhamma from different speakers, the right ones. Don't waste your time. Second is Kalyana Mitra. Okay. Third one is wise attention, Yoniso Manasikara. Fourth is Dhammanu Dhamma Patipada, being able to practice the Dhamma according to how the Dhamma was given. Now there are people who listen to a Dhamma talk, and when they practice, they do a certain different thing in their practice. So these are the 4 requirements. In there you see, Kalyana Mitra is the second one. The second question you ask is the Buddha. I think to you, Buddha has to come in person to help us. Is that your point?
Kayana Mitra to me should be a person, because during the Buddha's time when Ananda made the comment that Kayana Mitra will help us half the journey, and the Buddha said no, Kayana Mitra actually help us throughout the journey until enlightenment.
Yeah, true.
So to me, the Buddha has already passed away in Parinibbana. So how do we treat the Buddha as our first Kayana Mitra?
Okay, so the Buddha said how to see him to one monk called Vakkali. There was a monk called Vakkali. Vakkali was his father's, I think, sister's son. Sudodana's sister's son, I think. Then Vakkali, the Buddha asked, why are you looking at me all the time? Then he said, I became a monk just to see you. Like some people who are seeing the Buddha statue all the time. I feel so calm and happy. It's good. He said, no, you can't see me by looking at me. Then he said, only when you understand cause and effect theory, Paticca Samuppada, you understand Dhamma. When you understand Dhamma, then you can see me in the proper way. So do we need the physical Buddha for this? Do we need the physical Buddha for this? We don't need. If the Buddha is here, it is an additional blessing for us. So we can ask anything like that. So what he meant, adding on to that incident, you said more than half, there is a sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya where he says, we need 2 Kalyana Mittas at the very least. One is him, the other one you have to find out. So one is him has to be understood. Yes, he passed away already, but we are not following his physical body. We are following his Dhamma. When we learn Dhamma, there comes a path for us to practice. That path, being able to see that path, being able to practice that path is the Kalyana Mitta of the Buddha. Now say for instance, when you read these things, there comes a certain path that we can follow. That path is the Buddha, not the physical person. Right? Physical person is different. If you go to Korea, the Buddha is little aggressive, the Buddha's face. South Korean Buddhas. If you go to Thailand, the Buddha has a crown. What has wrong with these people, The Buddha's body has taken the shape of their cultural versions. Nobody has seen the Buddha. If you look at the Buddha images origin in Gandhara and Mathura, you see how it was meant. But we are thankful to these people. At least we have something to respect. But you are asking from the point that we don't see the Buddha as a person. We don't need to see him at this point. But when we are reading his teachings, we are seeing a path for us to follow. That is the help of the Buddha as a Sappurisa, Kalyana Mitta. Second one, you have to find out in your spiritual journey. All right, I think we can now wrap this up. So the idea that we have been discussing today was when you earn your wealth, which includes money, you have to sectionalize that wealth into 4 groups. Today we only discussed the first group. So we call them 4 Pattakamma groups, worthy deeds. That money has to go to 4 groups. In the first group, we have us, our parents, children, spouse, workers, and then friends and colleagues. So now save money, because we still have 3 other groups coming up. We're going to go to the second group next week. Right? Wishing you a good night. Safe journey back home. Yes, good night everyone. Good night.